Good morning, everybody. Uh, in this video, we shall be discussing about the last set of medicinal plants in your syllabus. That is, the part used and medicinal uses of Rauwolfia serpentina, Aconitum heterophyllum, Atropa belladonna, Cinchona officinalis, Hemidesmus indicus, and Digitalis purpurea. I repeat, we shall be discussing about the part used and medicinal uses of Rauwolfia serpentina, RAU, Rauwolfia, WOLFIA, serpentina, Aconitum heterophyllum, Atropa belladonna, Cinchona officinalis, Hemidesmus indicus, and Digitalis purpurea. Coming to Rauwolfia serpentina, this plant belongs to the family Apocynaceae, and the part used is the roots and leaves. The parts used medicinally are the roots and leaves. So now this plant is commonly called as Sarpagandha. It is a medicinal plant in the milkweed family. It is a small shrub with long leaves, white or pinkish flowers, and small dark purple to black fruits. This is the plant Rauwolfia serpentina, belonging to the family Apocynaceae. Now, the root of the plant is ground to a fine powder and sold in tablets or capsules. It is a compound commonly used in Asian medicine, which includes traditional Ayurvedic medicine native to India. The active ingredients in this drug are alkaloids, and about 50 of them have been identified through various studies. Although the primary psychoactive components appear to be reserpine, rescinnamine, and deserpidine. Reserpine, rescinnamine, and deserpidine. These are the three primary alkaloids which are used medicinally. Reserpine is used to treat high blood pressure. So remember, Rauwolfia serpentina is used to treat high BP. It is used to treat hypertension or high blood pressure. It is also used to treat severe agitation in parents with mental disorders. So, it is also a remedy for mental disorders. Reserpine is in a class of medications called Rauwolfia alkaloids. It works by slowing the activity of the nervous system, causing the heart rate to slow and blood vessels to dilate. So it is used for high BP, for mental disorders, and to slow down the activity of the nervous system. It is also used as a sedative and hypnotic. Rauwolfia is also used as a sedative and hypnotic. The alkaloids found in its roots have tranquilizing effects. Tranquilizing effects means those which give hallucinating effects or that out of the world experience. Tranquilizing effects, the due to the tranquilizing effects of the drug, it is also used for chronic mental illness. So thus it is used for mental illness. Extracts of roots are useful for treatment of intestinal disorders also. The roots mixed with some other plant extracts are used in the treatment of cholera and fever. And the roots also stimulate uterine contraction, and thus it is used during childbirth. So if this medicine of Rauwolfia roots is administered to pregnant ladies, it will be helpful in Child delivery. It helps in uterine contractions and thus used during childbirth. This is the plant. And so, to tell you in brief, it is used for high blood pressure, against high blood pressure, insomnia or sleeplessness, heart diseases, diabetes, intestinal disorders, cholera and fever, antioxidant, mental disorders, antibacterial, and also as an antidote for venom. All these are the medicinal uses of Rauwolfia serpentina, belonging to the family Apocyanaceae, the milkweed family Apocyanaceae. So, Rauwolfia serpentina, Apocyanaceae, the part used are roots and the leaves. Next, coming to the plant Aconitum heterophyllum. Aconitum heterophyllum belongs to the family Ranunculaceae. Ranunculaceae. And here the part used are the roots. The part used are the roots. This is commonly called as Ativisha. This plant is commonly called as Ativisha. So here you can see this is the plant. Aconitum heterophyllum belonging to Ranunculaceae, and the part used is the roots, commonly called as Ativisha. The roots are commonly called as Ativisha. Aconitum heterophyllum of Ranunculaceae. Commonly called as Ativisha, the drug commonly is known as aconite. It is obtained from the roots. The roots are used as astringent, tonic, antiperiodic in diarrhea, dyspepsia. Dyspepsia is the indigestion, stomach related problems. Diarrhea is loose motions and cough. It contains the alkaloids attisine, dihydroattisine, heterattisine, and hetisine. These are the alkaloids found in Aconitum heterophyllum. Attisine, dihydroattisine, heterattisine, and hetisine. It is used externally for rheumatism, joint pain, and internally it is used as a febrifuge or to relieve pain and fever. The total alkaloid content of this is 0.79%, and the plant is considered a valuable febrifuge. Febrifuge is to reduce fever, and it is used as a bitter tonic. The roots are used for hysteria, a sort of mental illness, throat infections, vomiting, abdominal pain, and diabetes. The extracts of Aconitum species have been given orally in traditional medicine to reduce fever associated with colds, pneumonia, laryngitis, croup. Croup is a respiratory illness, once again affecting larynx and trachea, and asthma, for pain, inflammation, and blood pressure, as a diuretic, to cause sweating, to slow heart rate, and for sedation. For all these purposes, in traditional medicine, it has been used. It has been used in traditional medicine for all these purposes. So, in brief, it is used against fever and infections, intermittent fever, bronchitis and cough, breathing difficulties, common cold and rhinitis, loss of appetite, nausea and vomiting, indigestion, diarrhea, diabetes, and two more, that is dyslipidemia, a disorder called lipidemia, which is which suggests unhealthy levels of one or more kinds of lipid or fat in your blood. It is denoted as dyslipidemia. And so aconitum is also used for this dyslipidemia. And glycosuria. Glycosuria is the excretion of excess of sugar in the urine. So for this also it has been used. So all these are the medicinal uses of Aconitum heterophyllum, belonging to the plant family Ranunculaceae, commonly called as Athivisha, and the plant part used is the roots. Then coming to the next plant, which is Atropa belladonna. Atropa belladonna belongs to the family Solanaceae, the tomato family, Solanaceae, tomato brinjal family, and the part used is the leaves and roots. The part used are the leaves and roots. This plant is commonly called as deadly nightshade. Deadly nightshade. The family is called, Solanaceae is called as nightshade family, and it is commonly called as deadly nightshade, or there is another common name is belladonna. It is also called as belladonna, just belladonna. The drug obtained from leaves is very much powerful and contains alkaloids like atropine, homatropine, hyoscyamine, scopolamine, etc. So these are the alkaloids present in Atropa belladonna. The roots and leaves are used as diuretic. Diuretic is one which promotes urination, and tonic, and also narcotic, that is which gives a hallucinating effect. Belladonna so is used as a sedative to stop bronchial spasms in asthma. It is used in asthma and whooping cough, and as a cold and hay fever remedy. See the plant belladonna. This is the plant belladonna, the deadly nightshade or just belladonna. And so this is used as a sedative. The part used is the leaves and the roots, of course, the roots also, and it is used as a sedative and it is also used to stop uh, bronchial spasms in asthma. It is used against whooping cough, and it is used as a cold and hay fever remedy. It is also used for Parkinson's disease. Parkinson's disease is a brain disorder that causes gradual loss of muscle control. It is used for colic pains. It is used in motion sickness and as a painkiller, colic pain and general painkiller. Belladonna is also used in ointments that are applied to the skin for joint pain or rheumatism, leg pain, which is caused by a disc in the backbone pushing on the sciatic nerve. There is a leg pain which is caused by because of the backbone problem. There is a disc in the backbone which presses the sciatic nerve which passes to the leg, and that problem is called as sciatica. So belladonna is a remedy for sciatica, and it is also used for nerve pain or neuralgia, for rheumatism, for sciatica, for neuralgia. Belladonna is also used in plasters, that is, medicine filled gauze applied to the skin. It is used for treating psychiatric disorders and a behavior disorder called hyperkinesis and hyperhidrosis. It is excessive sweating, is called as hyperhidrosis. So all these are a few uses of Atropa belladonna belonging to Solanaceae. There are some more uses. There is a drug atropine which is obtained from this plant, and this is used as a mydriatic. That is, it dilates the pupil, to dilate the pupil of the eye at the time of eye testing. In earlier days, they used to put this atropine, the drug from belladonna, to eyes of ladies in order to make their pupils large so that the eyes look attractive, but it is very poisonous and harmful also. So this was also used in olden days to dilate the pupils of the eye. Nowadays it is used at the time of eye testing. In certain poisoning cases of snake bites and scorpion bites, it is used as an antidote, or it is an antivenom, and it is antispasmodic. Antispasmodic is a drug that counteracts a sudden, violent, involuntary muscular contraction. So, if there is a sudden spasm, So this acts as an antispasmodic. And antisialagogue. Antisialagogue is a drug that arrests the flow of excess saliva. If anybody has excess salivation, then this drug is administered. Drug from Atropa belladonna is administered as an antisialagogue. It is also a cerebral sedative to reduce excitement. And these berries are highly poisonous. So all these are a few medicinal uses of Atropa belladonna belonging to the plant family Solanaceae. The part used are the leaves and the roots also. So, in brief, it is a sedative, cerebral sedative, and it is used to stop bronchial spasms in asthma and whooping cough, or simply you can say in asthma, it is used for asthma and whooping cough. It is used for cold and hay fever, for colic pains, in Parkinson's disease, in inflammatory bowel disorder, atropa is used, in motion sickness, and as a painkiller. It is used as a painkiller. So this was about Atropa belladonna belonging to the family Solanaceae, commonly called as deadly nightshade or belladonna. Next, coming to Cinchona officinalis. Cinchona officinalis is a plant belonging to the family Rubiaceae. I forgot to mention here. It is a plant belonging to the family Rubiaceae, the coffee family Rubiaceae. So the part used is bark. Part used is bark of this tree. Quinine tree. It is commonly called as quinine tree. The hard, thick bark of this tree is used. So the quinine tree is native to South America, Andes of South America. In India, it is found in West Bengal, the Khassia Hills, Nilgiris, South India, Sikkim, and Madhya Pradesh. This is the national tree of Peru. So this quinine tree, excuse me, it is called as Cinchona officinalis. See the bark. The bark is the part used. This is the bark of cinchona, which is highly medicinal. This is the leaves. These are the leaves and the inflorescence of the plant Cinchona officinalis. It is a huge tree. So the bark is used. The quinine tree bark is hard and thick, obtained from the species Cinchona officinalis. The most important constituent of cinchona bark is quinine, a very bitter white granular substance. Quinine is one of the most important drugs known, and it is the only adequate cure for malaria. In addition to its use in the treatment of malaria, it is a valuable tonic and antiseptic. A tonic and antiseptic. It is also used in the treatment of other fevers like hay fever, whooping cough, septic fever, pneumonia, acute nasal trouble, etc. There are some 29 other alkaloids apart from quinine. Some 29 other alkaloids have been isolated from the bark, including cinchonidine, cinchonine, and quinidine, all of which are useful in medicine. Quinine also checks certain bacterial infections, and some of its preparations are useful in amoebic dysentery. So it is also used in amoebic dysentery, Amashanke in Kannada. Quinine, if used in high quantity, may cause deafness, blindness, and nausea. So, it also has adverse effects. Anything in high quantity will have adverse effects, certainly. Its use should be avoided by heart patients and pregnant women. So, this is the plant. So, in brief, it is used against malaria to increase appetite. It is a tonic and it is antiseptic, promoting the release of digestive juices. So, a tonic. treating bloating, fullness. Bloating is air filled in stomach. Other stomach problems: hay fever, whooping cough, septic fever, pneumonia, acute nasal trouble, etc. Also in piles, muscle cramps, varicose veins, and leg cramps. These are some other uses of the plant Cinchona officinalis. Mild influenza, swine flu, the common cold, for cancer, mouth and throat diseases, enlarged spleen. It is also used as an astringent and bitter flavoring in tonic water and alcoholic beverages. So, these are briefly about the uses, some uses of Cinchona officinalis. Then coming to Hemidesmus indicus. Periploca indica, the other name or synonym is Periploca, P-E-R-I, Periploca, P-L-O-C-A, Periploca indica, belonging to the family Periplocaceae. The new name Periplocaceae. Earlier it was under Asclepiadaceae. According to Bentham Hooker's system, it is under Asclepiadaceae. And the part used is root. This is commonly called as Sogade Beru in Kannada, Hemidesmus indicus or Sogade Beru. So, Beru or the root is used. In English, it has a common name called Indian Sarsaparilla. Indian Sarsaparilla is the common name, or just Sarsaparilla is Hemidesmus indicus. This is the plant. It is a climber. See, this is the plant Hemidesmus indicus, the root of which called Sogade Beru is used. See the plant. This is the plant Hemidesmus, and these are the roots which are used. The roots of Hemidesmus indicus. Commonly called the Indian Sarsaparilla or Sogade Beru or Anantmool. There is another common name called Anantmool for Hemidesmus indicus. Root bark is used to treat leukoderma. Leukoderma is white patches in the skin, also called vitiligo. And hemicranias. Hemicranias is the pain affecting one side of the head, and it is used in kidney diseases. It is used as an aphrodisiac. Aphrodisiac is a medicine used to increase the sexual urge. Aphrodisiac. Diuretic. Diuretic is one which promotes urination, excessive urination. Tonic and for liver disorders. So all these are uses of Hemidesmus indicus. In folk medicine, the powdered root is combined with cow's milk to treat scanty and highly colored urine. Colored urine, for colored urine and less urine and colored urine, it is used in traditional medicine. The root is also used in leprosy, Kushtaroga, leprosy, skin diseases, fever, asthma, bronchitis, the respiratory problems, pruritus, pruritus is itching, and other urinary diseases, chronic rheumatism, and leukorrhea. Leukorrhea is white discharge from the vagina, female vagina. So, in all these conditions, also the root is used. Syrup extracted from the root is used as a flavoring agent. It is sometimes used as a substitute for true sarsaparilla. There is a plant true sarsaparilla which is Smilax species. So as a substitute to that it is used. Mainly the roots but also the leaves and latex. It has latex also. The leaves and latex are also used in Indian herbal medicine. Hemidesmus indicus belonging to Asclepiadaceae. You just remember it as Asclepiadaceae or Periplocaceae. The root is a valuable alterative. It alters the diseased states. Alterative, a blood purifier, a demulcent. Demulcent is it relieves inflammation or irritation. Diaphoretic. Diaphoretic is excessive abnormal sweating. So some people will have excessive abnormal sweating. So diaphoretic is a medicine which treats that condition. Hemidesmus indicus is also a diaphoretic. It is used in the treatment of appetite loss, dyspepsia or indigestion, stomach problems, fever, syphilis, leukorrhea. All these are STDs, sexually transmitted diseases. Then genitourinary diseases. Syphilis is a STD. Leukorrhea is colorless or white. I told you earlier also, white discharge, genitourinary diseases, and chronic coughs. A paste of the roots is applied externally to the swellings and rheumatic joints. Hemidesmus indicus. Analysis has revealed the presence of a range of medically active substances in the root, including there is an essential oil, coumarin, sterols are there, fatty acids are there, saponins are there. These are all phytochemicals, the chemicals present in the plant. A very slight amount of a glycoside is there, resins are there, tannins are there, and not only in the roots, even in the flowers and leaves, flavonoids are reported. Flavonoids, namely rutin and hyporoside. These are some flavonoids, some phytochemicals, chemicals once again. They are reported even from the flowers and leaves and not only the roots. So, all this is about Hemidesmus indicus, the picture I showed you. Indian Sarsaparilla or just Sarsaparilla or Anantamul or Sogade Beru. So, this is the plant part used, which is the roots of the plant. So, in brief, it is used as a demulcent and a cooling agent. Demulcent and a cooling agent. Demulcent is to relieve inflammation or irritation. It is used as an aphrodisiac. It is used as a diuretic and tonic. And it is used for leukoderma. It is used for rheumatism, for hemicranias, and anti-cancerous activity. It has anti-cancerous activity, it has healing power, it has antioxidant properties, it has anti-diarrheal activity, it is astringent, and in sexually transmitted diseases. Now, lastly, coming to Digitalis purpurea. It belongs to the family Scrophulariaceae. Scrophulariaceae. And the part used is dried leaves. So, this is the plant Digitalis purpurea belonging to Scrophulariaceae, and the part used is dried leaves. Dried leaves of this plant Digitalis purpurea, commonly called as foxglove. Foxglove, the common name is foxglove. Purple ones are there and white varieties are also there. So this is Digitalis purpurea, and it belongs to the plant family Scrophulariaceae. Scrophulariaceae. Dried leaves are used. Commonly called foxglove, digitalis is used to treat CHF or congestive heart failure and heart rhythm problems called atrial arrhythmias, heart rhythm problems, irregular heartbeats. Digitalis can increase blood flow throughout the body and reduce swelling in hands and ankles, a condition called as dropsy, where there is water accumulation in hands and ankles. So it reduces that. So it is used against dropsy. At the same time, it stimulates the flow of urine. It is strongly diuretic. It lowers the volume of blood. Thereby, it lowers the volume of blood and lessens the load on the heart. It lessens the load on the heart. The plant contains cardiac glycosides including digoxin, digitoxin, and lanatosides. Digitoxin rapidly strengthens the heartbeat but it is excreted very slowly. Digoxin is therefore preferred as a long term medication. So, an ointment containing digitalis glycosides is used to treat wounds and burns. An infusion of the plant prolongs the life of cut flowers. These are additional uses, not medicinal ones. These are for your additional information. Root crops growing near this plant store better. They can be stored better. An apple green colored dye is obtained from the flowers also of this plant. So this is the picture of Digitalis purpurea belonging to Scrophulariaceae, and the part used is the leaves. So in brief, it is used for CHF, congestive heart failure. It increases blood flow and it is used against cancer, diabetes. It is strongly diuretic and it is used against dropsy. These are references. Now coming to the MCQs, multiple choice questions. Rauwolfia serpentina is used to treat chronic mental illness, high blood pressure, diabetes, all of the above. So what is Rauwolfia serpentina used to treat? Chronic mental illness, high blood pressure, diabetes, or all of the above? The answer is D, all of the above. It is used to treat all the above said conditions, that is chronic mental illness, hypertension or high blood pressure, and diabetes. Next, Ativisha is the common name of Rauwolfia serpentina, Hemidesmus indicus, Digitalis purpurea, none of the above. Ativisha is the common name of Rauwolfia serpentina, Hemidesmus indicus, Digitalis purpurea, and none of the above. The answer is none of the above, because Ativisha is the common name of Aconitum heterophyllum. Aconitum heterophyllum is Ativisha, belonging to the family Ranunculaceae. The following plant belongs to the family Solanaceae. Which is the plant belonging to the family Solanaceae of the following? Aconitum heterophyllum, Rauwolfia serpentina, Atropa belladonna, Hemidesmus indicus. Which plant of these four belongs to the family Solanaceae? Aconitum heterophyllum, Rauwolfia serpentina, Atropa belladonna, or Hemidesmus indicus? And the answer is Atropa belladonna. Atropa belladonna belongs to Solanaceae. The deadly nightshade or the belladonna belongs to Solanaceae. Diaphoretic is the term is used to denote excessive urination, excessive abnormal sweating, excessive inflammation, none of these. The term diaphoretic is used to denote which one? Excessive urination, excessive abnormal sweating, excessive inflammation, or none of these. And the answer is excessive abnormal sweating. Diaphoretic is excessive abnormal sweating. The remedy for congestive heart failure, CHF, is remedy for CHF comes from Digitalis purpurea, Hemidesmus indicus, Aconitum heterophyllum, or all of these. Which has the remedy for congestive heart failure? It is Digitalis purpurea, foxglove. Digitalis purpurea, the foxglove belonging to the family Scrophulariaceae, is used to treat congestive heart failure and not the other plants. Medicine for malaria is obtained from, quite easy question, Atropa belladonna, Aconitum heterophyllum, Digitalis purpurea, or Cinchona officinalis. From which plant medicine for malaria is obtained? And the answer is Cinchona officinalis of the family Rubiaceae. Rubiaceae is the family of Cinchona officinalis. So that brings us to the end of this session. Thank you.